Your senior rater holds the key to your success. Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and my goal today is to give you 2 questions you should ask your senior rater as soon as possible. But before I do that, I want to give you just a bit of context about why these are the questions to ask. Actually, before I do that, for those of you who haven't realized it yet, your senior rater's assessment of your potential compared with officers of the same grade, most qualified versus highly qualified, where they can only give a top rating to 49% or fewer officers. That assessment has a massive impact on your promotability. And if you want to see why I make this point, watch this video. The thing to keep in mind is that your senior rater has massive impact on your career, and that's why you have to ask them these questions. And here is the context to keep in mind. Your senior rater has a whole bunch of objectives that they want to accomplish. And what they want to do is aim your boss and you at those objectives to knock them down. What your senior rater does not want is for your boss to go wandering off chasing some bright idea of his own. And he certainly does not want your boss to squander your youthful skills and energies on that bright idea. And neither of them want you to go flittering away on some daydream of your own. So, the fact that your senior rater holds a massive sword over your head, that top block, well, it serves as a control measure to prevent these little side quests. It strongly incentivizes you to ignore the butterfly and the bright idea and focus on your senior rater's objectives. With that in mind, I argue that there are 2 questions you want to ask your senior rater as soon as you can, and even if you've asked these questions before, you might want to check back regularly to make sure that the answers haven't changed. The first question is, what problems do you want to see go away? I'll give you a little tip about what's going on in the life of your senior rater. They arrived at this job with grand expectations of all the things they were going to accomplish. They were going to be the best, battalion commander or director or general officer that the world had ever seen. But then they take on the job, and there's all this BS, ankle-biter, tanglefoot nonsense that prevents them from achieving what they wanted to achieve. Your senior rater doesn't like those little problems, and they quickly realize that those little problems resist easy fixes. So, demonstrating the ability to eliminate those problems that your senior rater actually cares about, well, it demonstrates that you have greater potential than your peers. And pay attention to how they respond to that question of what problems do you want to see go away. You are looking for the kind of problems that cause your senior rater a deep, burning hatred, not some kind of bland, well, I just want you to do your job. As an example of this deep, burning hatred you want to look for, I started my career out as a quartermaster. Basically issuing socks and having people sign for pistol belts. It's the boring administrivia that no commander really cares about. So when I ask the question of what problems do you want to see go away, I'm looking for their face to turn red and them to say something like, I'm sick and tired of units standing around waiting to get issued equipment. That is the kind of objective that I can put some energy into. The second question to ask your senior rater is, who do you trust that I can go to for advice? And here's the funny thing. I have never had a senior rater just say, oh, just talk to your boss. I made that big point earlier about your boss getting distracted by their own bright idea because I have the suspicion that senior raters, even if they don't consciously think it, don't really trust the boss between you and them to align your efforts to achieve your senior rater's goals. Or maybe a better way to say it is that your senior rater assumes that you're going to seek guidance from your boss, and they intuitively understand the question to mean, who should I seek advice from in addition to my boss? Either way, senior raters tend to recommend two types of people in response to this kind of a question. They either recommend somebody who is a peer of your boss but works more closely with the senior rater, like an executive officer or a chief of staff. Or they recommend a peer of yours, some shining star who's trusted to do good work and is clearly at the top of the order of merit list. Either way, the reason that the senior rater recommends these individuals is because these are the people who have already proven that they can deliver results that the senior rater values. If you want to deliver results, then these people are at least going to be able to tell you whether or not you're headed in the right direction. From here on out, it's just doing the work, and I'm confident that you're fully qualified to do that. And at this point, some of you might have noticed that these two questions reflect a certain foible of some military folks. A person that you might call the Spotlight Ranger because they focus only on what the boss cares about. That's essentially true, but I argue that an understanding of Spotlight Rangers and some of their quirky peers is key to being successful. So if you want to learn more about them, watch this video.